Welcome to the Film Mechanic Screenwriting Podcast with Derry Titan. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Derry Titan, the Film Mechanic, and today's guest, I met her at one of my own film auditions that I was having. She's produced so many different films. And what I mean by different is she gives you a little bit of everything because she's not an eccentric person. She's a person that is very in tune with who she is. And I am so happy to introduce her, but I'm going to let her introduce herself and let her tell you who she is. It's on you, love.
Okay. Well, Derry, thank you for this opportunity to be a part of your broadcast. My name is Coquie Hughes, and I am a filmmaker. Usually when people ask me, what do I do? And I just come out and say, I just get shit done. I get shit done. That's what I do. Um, and when you're a filmmaker, especially where I'm at as a filmmaker, you wear a lot of hats and you have to be able to keep a peace of mind wearing all those hats as a filmmaker. So I can't really describe in like I guess in a cohesive sentence what I do, with the exception of I just get shit done. I love to tell stories. I love to watch it, start as an idea in my head and then having a screening of it where people are watching it, internalizing it, and giving their own perception about it. And so that's what I do. I'm a filmmaker and I get shit done. So
Let's get into that. What kind of stories do you tell, Cookie?
Well, I like to tell stories that I like to see. I always have me in mind when I make my movies. I always create content that interests me, that I would want to visualize. And so the types of stories that I'm mostly interested in is stories that celebrate Black women, stories that show them in badass type of dispositions. I like to tell stories about Black women who are thriving and who are making a difference. I like to, as a Black queer woman, I especially love to tell love stories between Black women. And so these are the types of, so I make movies to me, and my thing is that as I'm making content that I want to see, I am appreciative that there's an audience that also shares that same sentiment as me. So so I just create the content for me, and hopefully, there's people out there that also can relate to it.
That's the thing, Cookie, right? Telling stories from what you know, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ideating from that in which you live to a degree, right?
Yes, or not necessarily what I've lived, but people that have been around me, what they've lived, and being able to put that into a story.
I just want to get into something right quick. And this is just as a writer, right? As a writer, to structure or not to structure, and why the hoopla about structuring? Do you structure or do you not structure?
Oh, I definitely believe in structuring. And one of the things, because, okay, so here's how I approach it. Film school teaches you theory, and everyone should know the theory or the dynamics or the structure of how to put together a film, how to put together a script. So you need to know the rules. But when you actually are putting it into practice, that's when you can be creative with it. So I do believe that the structure is the foundation of the script, but then as you write and build on the characters, build on the scenes, the story, and uh, making your character arcs, that's when you can just be creative with it. And one of the things that I appreciate about, and you're always learning too as a writer, because a couple of years ago, was it a couple of years ago, I had purchased your book because I wanted to give back to the foundation of script writing, and the film mechanics workbook was very helpful in just reminding me how important it is to have that structure. But then, as like I say, as you're evolving with your story, it's okay to be creative and do what you do, just as long as you understand the rules. So
Right. Right. I mean, and that's what this podcast is about. It's about, I always tell anybody I work with, I always say, look, my process is just a process to help you understand what your process is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. And like you said, film school teach you theoretically. At the
yeah,
end of the day, you got to go in and put the work in and find out where
exactly.
you are. And the reason, and like I said, the reason why I wrote the book was because I kept forgetting my own process. That's
Right,
how I wound up writing a book. I was like, I don't remember, what do I do next? Or what do I do now? Or what should I talk about? Like developing characters. Even though I have a way to develop characters in a book, outside of the book, I have a myriad of other ways that I develop my characters, because how I approach each story is different, right?
right,
Like some ways I develop character, I don't necessarily have to do a analytical or analytical worksheet, analysis worksheet for that particular character.
right.
Like, so when you're writing, you're going through your process. What do your rewriting process look like?
Well, the way I write is I do what is called like a vomit script. So, especially like if I have an idea, or if someone hires me to write a screenplay for them. So, and what I call a vomit script is like whatever is on my head, I just write it. It makes no sense. The elements are out of whack. I'm just, typing. And I have to do it like on I had purchased this vintage keyboard typewriter type thing to help me get in the flow, because I like to type on typewriters when I'm doing like this vomit script, and I'm just typing. And then what I do is I go back, and I may write a vomit script where I didn't vomited out 5 pages. And then what I do is I go back and read what I wrote, and I add to it, and I, adjust things and modify. And then from those 5 vomit pages, I may end up with 12 pages, or, double the amount of pages. And then I reread it again and add some more elements to it, and make some more rewrites to it. So until I'm done with a 90 to 100 page script, 100 page script. So that's my process. It's like I just write whatever's flowing in my head, and especially like when I come up with a concept of a script that I want to write, I already know based on that log line what the beginning, middle, and end is, and so it just helps me with my vomit flow. I hope I'm not being disgusting by saying vomit, but
No, 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 you're fine.
yeah,
You're saying some really good and incredible stuff, because the last thing that you stated was knowing your beginning, middle, and your end. And your process, like, like, I don't want to use the word wonderful, but that's how it started to make me feel, because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, like, you got 5 strong, good, whatever's in my head pages, right? And the next thing you know is you starting to watch it grow. So it's like
yes,
those 5 pages is a seed, right?
yes,
So
exactly.
I love that. I love that. So when did you start coming up with that particular process? How did you know that was the process?
Well, when did this happen? There was a workshop that Cinespace here in Chicago had, where Christine Swanson, she is a writer, director, filmmaker. She does a lot. Uh, she recently did the Clark Sisters, that movie, and so she was doing a workshop, and we were breaking down. It was a script writing workshop, and she was breaking down The Devil Was Prada, that movie, and she talked about writing a vomit script. And I had never heard that. Well, you know what? Honestly, I was doing it. I just didn't know what it was
Mm.
called. But she called it a vomit script. And from that, I just started intentionally writing my scripts like that. Um, Even like I said, even though I was doing it beforehand, I didn't really know. But it wasn't until I took that workshop. I think it was in 2018 or 2017. I took that workshop, and it was pretty transformative for me.
Because of this, what are three intangibles that you take with you as a writer that every writer should have when they're on this in the business of screenwriting? Not on a journey, but in a business of screenwriting. Three
That's a
intangibles.
very good question. Let me think about that. Uh, Let me just think from my perspective as the business.
In the business of screenwriting, yes.
The first thing I would say is learn how to structure your script properly, and that's why they should get the book, The Film Mechanics. I know I sent it to my little nephew who's incarcerated. He getting out, thank you God, this month. But he wanted to write a screenplay, and he sent me what he wrote, and I was like, this is terrible. You need to know the dynamics or the elements of how to structure a script. So one, know how to properly structure your script. um, that's from a business, because when you're sending it out to industry people, what differentiates you from being professional and unprofessional is that you at least got the basics down as far as how to format a script. Two, um, it's okay if it takes you a little time to finish your script. um, like somebody like me, like I can write a script very fast, but if it takes you uh 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, it's okay to go at your pace, because everyone is different as far as how they flow. um let's see, the third thing as it relates to business. um hmm, okay, I'm trying to think like a business person. What's the third thing? This may not uh, be business, but it's really a mindset. Uh, and my thing is, you have to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like especially when somebody reaches out to me to want to hire me to work. If I don't enjoy the story, I won't take the job, because it's not fair to the person that is wanting to contract my services to write their script for them. So I have to, so you, so enjoy it. You have to enjoy it, and that would, and that having that mindset will open up opportunities for you to, either get a deal for your script, or someone hire you, or you can sell the script. So yeah, those are my three. um what is it, tangible,
Then three
intangible?
intangibles
Yeah, so those are my three
to
intangibles.
carry with you in the business of screenwriting. And that last one is beautiful.
Yeah,
That is, let me tell you something. This business can destroy your spirit.
truly.
It can warp your spirit. It can make you bitter. And that's the thing. I that's one of my things too, Cook. I do not take projects that I cannot enjoy writing.
Yes,
So that is a very powerful component. And I think anybody that's listening, I pray that you find a joy in the work that you do. Because if you do not,
absolutely.
so Cook, what's your goal? That's what this is all about. What's your goal? What's the nuggets of wisdom that you've learned throughout the process in turn that you want to share with the listeners out here? What is your goal?
Gold or gold? Gold.
Like GOLD. What's your gold? What's the golden nuggets of wisdom that you carry
That's
with you
dope.
to
Okay.
continue on?
Oh my God. Um, Really, and it's very simple, is being happy. that's that's all I want to be. Because when I'm happy doing something, everything just manifests and falls into place. And if something don't make me happy, I've learned to just not deal with it or fool with it too long. Um, and so, and just appreciating the moment, being, Eckhart Tolle, he has a book called The Power of Now, and just appreciating everything that is around me, and what is happening around me. And that, to me, having that mindset puts me in a place of where I'm wanting to go and where I'm trying to be. I know it sounds a bit esoteric, but that's really what it is. It's just being happy and just having this mindset of being present, and being appreciative of the now. So that's the goal, my goal. And that really works for me, because for years I spent with a mindset of worrying, trying to figure out, like, who should I get to work with me? Who do I need to connect with? And that was exasperating. I got tired of that, and I had to learn how to um, change my perspective. Shift the paradigm, so that I can be able to um, manifest the things that I want for me as a creative. So yeah.
I love that, the manifestation of happiness. And this business is they drive you, they pound on you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I sent to you earlier today on, the tweet that the guy about financing.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and that was the same thing he was saying. Like if you think screenwriting hard or filmmaking hard, try fundraising for a movie.
Mm, yeah.
It like all three of those components are very, saying intrinsically um soul altering,
Yeah.
before you go into it, and after you come out of it, but while you're going through it. So I thank you so much, Cookie, for
Thank you.
for this, and you've been great. And I want everyone that's listening to please go to Cookie. No, no, no. Wait a minute. What? Let's circle this up. Where can we find you, Cookie?
CoquieHughes.com. I'm on all social media platforms as Coquie Hughes, and Cookie is spelled CoquieHughes.
That is Cookie Hughes, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you, Cookie, for coming through and blessing us with all of your knowledge and all of just the power of who you are. I think I want people to really go look you up and see like how powerful you really are in terms of how long you've been doing this, Cookie.
Oh,
Go
about
ahead.
2 weeks. About 2 weeks. Because there's a saying, every 2 weeks you learn something new. So what I knew 2 weeks ago and what I know now is very different. So I've been making movies for 2 weeks.
I
But
love it.
now, but no, I started back in 1997. So what is that, like
So
22?
97. And
No, I beg your pardon. I actually started back in 91 when I was working. I had bought my first Super 8 camera. I used to have this Super 8 projector, and I used to go around like, oh, you want to see my movie? It was movies I made on a Super 8 camera, and I put the projector up and everything. But so that was back in 91. Yeah,
so I want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to this podcast, the Film Mechanic Screenwriting Podcast with Derry Titan and my special guest, Coquie Hughes. If you get an opportunity, stop by www.derrytitan.com, pick up a copy of the Film Mechanic Screenwriting Workbook, and we'll talk to you soon. We appreciate your support. Be sure to leave a review and a comment and share it with your closest screenwriting friends. Stop by www.derrytitan.com for the Film Mechanic Screenwriting Workbook, and we'll see you next episode. Have an awesome day. Peace.